works. We're gonna push it live. I think this should work. Shannon, I can't figure out a way to make a two-player game so you can play with me, but I will try out some Space Cadet Pinball.
Let's do it.
Can you guys hear that? And here is Evilness 999. Oh, is available to play on KOF2. Yeah, cool. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you guys get a match going. We'll tune over there. Let's see. Game. Change stream category. I'm on it. I'm on it. We'll get the stream category changed. Just a sec. Lot of moving pieces. Stream info. No longer Neo Turf Masters. No. We are at Space Cadet. I wonder if Space Cadet has a category. It does. 3D Pinball Space Cadet. There it is. Done. All right. Pinball. Hey. It's loud. And it's glitchy. Options. I need a refresher on the controls. Z. X. So Z is the flipper. There's the flipper. X is bump the table. And that means that's bump the table. Space is plunger. And bottom table bump is up. I think that's not going to work for me. Let's make A to bump the table up.
Andy says this game would be a nightmare, a tech nightmare, if it was created into a real table.
Because there's so many pieces, I'm sure. All right. I think I'm ready to go. Let's new game. Can you guys hear it? All right.
Yep.
I am not familiar with Space Cadet Pinball. I've played a little bit, as I feel like we all have. Not sure if I can do a flipper catch. I mean, I know how to play the game in real pinball. But I'm not sure how that translates to Space Cadet Pinball. Whoa. Soft catches are difficult. That was a
You didn't bump the table.
What's that?
You didn't bump the table.
Well, because if this was real pinball, I would have saved it just by flipping the flippers in succession. I try not to bump the table too much. I just want to control the shots.
You need to slide save that.
Because I can do like this and save, that motion right there. That saves a lot of close ones. And I'm pretty good at knowing the angles. I don't know if soft catches are possible in this.
Slided a foot across the floor.
There we go. The drop catches, yes. Just slide it 1 foot across the floor.
Yeah.
It does have a tilt setting to it. So I gotta watch out with all that. Oh my goodness. It's like a heat seeker.
Yeah, it was.
Turning off that mic. Alright, engine's upgraded, alright. Ready to launch. Whoa, that was quick. Alright, there we go. Blinking shot. Yeah, made the blinking shot. I don't know what that means. Engine's upgraded again. So the rules to every pinball are the same. Don't do that. But control the ball and hit the blinking shot. That's it. By the way, Tekken Chick, I saw you getting in there in that chat. If you're still there,
She's still here.
Yeah, keep trying. Activate the mic and just start talking. Alright, I gotta find the pause button. There's a cat that's trying to dig its way out. Be right back. Sorry. I want to thank my co-host Pika for joining us. We'll check up with Pika a little later and see how she's doing, as she also is homebound for COVID-19, but she kind of prefers it that way. Hobbies include sleeping and bashing her head into things, and that's all. Hey, I got a soft catch. Backhand? Backhand too much. Pretty good. Let's see. Lego can hear the kitty complaining. Yes, that's accurate. The kitty was complaining. Let's see. The in lane to the upper orbits will have to be through a dipped reverse ramp. Oh, you're talking about the realities of this game. Can you guys see the name entry? Well, then what does it matter if my friends can't see it? So again, we were supposed to have the prelude to TPF this weekend, a 3 strikes pinball tournament. So 500,000 was what I scored there. Let's see if I can beat that. It was going to be in Free Play Arlington today. Andy Nebbs was going to have to work extra hard to keep all the pinball machines working at the same time as competing and possibly beating me. I hit the blinking shot. That was a miracle. I did not intend to hit the shot that way. Engines are upgraded. A mission was accepted. I don't know what mission it is. That is not like most pinball tables. Alright, reflex shots. I'm just aiming at the blinky shot. I assume that's going to do something.
Yeah, I don't remember the rules. I don't remember how to play this one.
I mean, pinball is pretty straightforward. You aim at the blinking shot, so...
Typically, yes.
I hit it. It says 1 launch is left, so I'm assuming if I hit that one more time.
Something good's going to happen.
Yeah, something good. I assume it doesn't end the game instantly. I gotta be careful with that. There we go. Launch training passed. I have a bunch of lights lit up on the center. I was actually gonna miss that because I made TPL finals, so I would have been at the TPF facility for that. Oh, wow. Congratulations making the TPL finals. I'm assuming that after all this is done, the IFPA will reinstitute pinball competitions, and we can all get together and cry and hug and play some pinball. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, you know, I just started getting out of the house again. Like, what? When did I come back to Pinball Monday? A month before this went down?
Something like that. Yeah.
Maybe 2 months.
Not long enough. Not nearly long enough. We missed it terribly. Whoops. I thought I was doing well too. And then,
well, you demolished your first score, so there's that. Progress is good.
Yeah, I think I've lit up about a quarter of the center bank, so I should have shook the table for that one. That was unfortunate. It says that's a skill shot, so that's why I did it. Aiming at the arrows. Missing, as I typically do. That was really weird. Let's see. Let's get a... General, if you don't mind, since you can talk pinball, why doesn't pinball be the topic of conversation and Pinball Monday and everything else? If I could get General to come join the chat with us for a little bit, because Shannon, you're still in here, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I'd love to talk pinball while I mess around with Space Cadet Pinball. If you have thoughts on Space Cadet Pinball, share them as well. But I'll have trouble playing pinball, playing Space Cadet, and tracking a conversation at the exact same time. So yeah, joining us now is
Hello, hello.
the General. Do you mind if I reveal who you are, General?
Sure. Yeah.
This is Chris Geist. This is the gloved pinball player of yore.
Hi, Chris.
Big free play
How's it
regular.
going?
So how are you doing in all this? You've been joining us daily, so.
Well, yeah. It's been going. I mean, I've basically been unofficially out of work. Because my work's going, but I decided to stay home because,
There's a virus out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't.
I don't want to be going into a factory full of like 50-some people. The office itself isn't that crowded, but sometimes I have to go downstairs to the factory and check on orders. I can't imagine that many people are ordering blinds right now. I mean,
I canceled my order for blinds that I had in, and I wasn't planning on getting any custom blinds made.
yeah.
Game volume a little high.
I can try to change that. Sounds. Nope. Sounds.
But
The biggest skill shot is getting the last line before it drops into the upper lanes.
Okay. I'm on it. Oh, I know where I can fix that. Sorry. So, you don't have any pinball at the house, is that correct?
that is correct.
Yeah.
I relied on free play for most of my pinball and also other local pinball events and stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you out in the private circuit quite a bit. Basically every time I went out. So yeah, I'll be ready. I'm gonna be super stoked when life returns to semi-normal and we can play pinball again. That's part of the reason I wanted to go ahead and talk pinball and play some Space Cadet, because I don't want people to think I forgot about pinball at all. How long have you been playing pinball, Chris? All your life?
Sort of. Like, I would say hardcore. Well, I guess there's kind of degrees of, like, when I was a kid, it was more like it was, I wouldn't say it was my favorite game, but it was like something I would play in addition to other games, sometimes. But not that often, and only if like the theme of the table kind of caught my interest. And
What was your favorite table as a kid?
As a kid, probably F14 Tomcat,
Okay, yeah. That's a good one.
which is where my name is from.
Were you a Top Gun fan?
Oh yeah, I loved that movie as a kid. I was like 8 years old, and I'd ride my bike around and pretend I was like Maverick, and
Yeah. Yeah, so do you know the song Mighty Wings?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm aware. Yes, it's Ken's theme.
Right, but
I remember like
very,
watching the movie again when I was a little older, after I had discovered Street Fighter as like a teenager, and then like seeing the movie on TV and like listening at the end of the movie. I'm like, wow, this song sounds a lot like Ken's theme from Street Fighter.
Clearly Top Gun copied Ken's song.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie that came out in 1988 copied this game that came out in 1991.
Yeah. Clearly. That's the timeline.
That's how it works.
Uh-huh.
Well, hey, also when I was a kid, I thought when I first heard the song Under Pressure, hey, that guy's ripping off Vanilla Ice.
Right. And then you had the that MC Hammer ripoff that who was it?
Rick
Super
James.
Freak, Rick James. Yeah, Super Freak. Yeah, that was definitely confusing. Hey, there's some fun music being played in the background. So when you were a kid, it was F-14 Tomcat and whatever theme impressed you. Where did you go from there as far as pinball?
Well, around 99 or something, I was starting to be kind of like annoyed with like the arcades. It was like I felt like everything in there was just starting to be just like the same genres over and over again.
There's like rhythm, shooter, maybe a midway sports game.
I think it wasn't even rhythm didn't really become a thing until a couple years
2000,
later.
2001, something like
Yeah.
that. Racing
yeah,
games.
Yeah, like every racing game is like, it was like these are like all the same. And then I kind of gravitated, I don't know, I started gravitating more towards the pinball games just because I felt like this is something easier to learn and doesn't eat my quarters as fast as some of these other types of games.
Especially that era. I feel like that was the era of the easy pinball machine.
Yeah, that's so. I had a local arcade that I was going in the mall near where I worked. And
You can name drop them. It's okay.
It was a Tilt.
Tilt, and yeah, what mall was it?
It was in Houston. It was at the First Colony Mall in Sugarland area. So
yeah, Tilt is actually headquartered here in the DFW area. Still around, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah, but very limited amount of tilts out there.
Because I know the one in the Parks Mall is gone.
Right. All the local ones, although the family that owns Tilt is still in the area. But yes, so sorry, 1999 era.
Yeah, so they had a junkyard and a champion pub. I never played the champion pub because it was broken. Like I tried playing it a couple times and like the heavy bag switch was broken, so it pretty much was not very fun to play. But the junkyard played decently for a game that's not being taken care of all that greatly. But I started playing that and started to learn to actually like get good at playing pinball and started to learn the shots and that kind of thing. So then there was kind of like that era.
Did you know?
So I was doing that after work every other day, maybe. I'd put $5 and I'd be playing that and Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Oh yeah, that game's great. When did you start learning technique in pinball, like drop catches and things like that?
I sort of learned like a little bit of technique in that time, but as far as like the real techniques, I didn't really learn that stuff until I started watching, like tournament videos on the internet, and I saw players doing like these things, and it started. Oh, so you can just pass the ball from one flipper to the other.
Yeah.
And wow. And then I started watching like Bowen's tutorials and that kind of thing.
Bowen's ridiculous. I don't understand how someone can call their shots quite in the way that he does, because he's very casual about it. It seems like the more would-be pressure or performance is involved in it, the better Bowen gets, which is shocking.
Yeah, there's something at that I guess super elite S-class level, I guess. That's really hard to duplicate, and it seems to be just like there's certain people that just have like a certain level where they're beyond normal humans, kind of like the same way like a NFL player or an NBA player would be.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're maybe high school or college level in comparison. I don't know exactly where we would fall on that. I guess it depends. I don't know. What do you know? Do you know? You pay attention to your world ranking and stuff probably more than I do. Do you know where you're ranked?
Last I checked, there's like some like 1,300, 1,400 or something.
Yeah.
So top 2,000.
So I think that's fair to say that would be like college athlete or high school level.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put in a little bit of work. We put in a lot of bit of work, but certainly not on Bowen's level at this moment. Do you see yourself getting better, improving even today?
I feel like I've been improving somewhat. I don't know if I'll ever reach that top tier level, but my goal for this year before everything happened was I was going to try to make the playoffs for state championships 2021.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like I had plans to travel to all the major Texas events this year. So
yeah, and assuming you could get into the TPF Wizards tournament, which is always a challenge.
Which I did get into that.
Yeah.
So
congratulations, hardest part achieved. Yeah, assuming you could do all that and hit the events, I would say, especially given your skill level, that I would have anticipated you getting it, and I don't see why you can't do it in the future if everything opens up back to normal, or even this year maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, that's a big if.
Yeah, it's a big if, but also like I do believe you have the talent, the drive, and the ability to get to the tournaments. Me, I don't have the drive nor the ability to get to all the tournaments, so there's no way that could happen for me.
And
this is not a bad pinball game.
I am unsure of where my financial situation will be after all of this.
And that's all of us too.
Traveling and such. So,
are you? And feel free not to answer this, but like you said, you voluntarily left work. Are you going to be able to benefit? Like, is work? Are you going to be able to like and get some of the benefits from the legislation being passed?
As far as I can tell, I think the only thing I would get is the one-time payment.
Okay.
The one that goes to everybody, because I'm not collecting any kind of unemployment.
Right.
Theoretically, it's possible I could go back to work if the virus is gone, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Are you?
If it's going to be in a situation where I would feel comfortable going back, unless there's some kind of like vaccine or something. Because I can't risk getting it.
Yeah. Are you immunocompromised?
Yeah, I do have some issues.
Okay. Well, if
there's got to be something you could do.
Well, like you said, a vaccine would be helpful.
Well, I just meant for like maybe some unemployment benefits.
Well, but he's not technically unemployed, is what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah, he could just go in, except he's immunocompromised, and it's literally a disaster. No, I
really,
that's
what I'm saying. There's got to be something.
If anyone has any insight, I'm just an idiot who's playing Space Cadet online, but.
And you are, you have the highest views of everyone playing Space Cadet right now.
Oh, wow. So
nice.
Yes.
Master Space Cadet, the highest of no one, I'm sure.
You are indeed the only one streaming it.
Shocking.
But still.
Shocking. You don't know how many times that's happened, too. That's part of my frustration with Twitch, is for the longest time, we had the best looking arcade stream, the best quality arcade stream, just in so many ways the best arcade stream on Twitch, and we were supporting a ton of games that were super rare. Didn't even have categories in some cases. And, you know, Twitch would have words for me about us having varying audiences, right? The audience shifted too much. Well, yes, because these games are super rare, and it's not like I can just throw up the flag that I'm playing Fortnite and then expect people to just randomly tune in. No, there's no random tune-ins. You gotta know that we're streaming arcade and feel like seeing the arcade game of the week or be a part of the community. And, you know, obviously our numbers are very respectable considering I'm streaming Space Cadet. And yet they would have a problem with the variant. So Arthur had said it would make him laugh if this disaster got us partnered. But we could get affiliate now. No, we are affiliates now. Yeah, and being up 24 hours a day. I doubt we're averaging 30 viewers. 30 viewers during our live programming, but when we go to network programming, it does tend to fade. I will say we have different audiences too. So if you're just joining us, we're trying to say free play arcade and save our own sanity. So if you want to help us save our own sanity, then join us in the Twitch chat. Join us in the Discord. There's a link in the Twitch chat to get to the Discord. You can join us even on stream if you know about pinball. Andy, why don't you get on here as well? Andy Nubs, if you have the capability.
Andy.
Yeah, why don't we have an actual, for real pinball tech who cares about it more than much of anything?
Andy says we still average about 20 overnight.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It is. It is. I mean, it is to me. Twitch
it is.
Twitch may not care, but I
well, no, but
we're streaming again. We're streaming Space Cadet. We're streaming in just stuff that there's like Enigma 2 doesn't have a category. You know, there's a ton of stuff like that we would stream alongside Super Turbo, which has, I would say, faded draw, but some draw, and in other games that like you literally never heard of. So maybe they'll see the light of day and partner us up. And I've used too many of those.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Andy, joining us now. Tech of Free Play Arlington. Tech of what would have been tonight's event. Andy Nubs. Would you have been there for tonight's event?
Of course.
Yeah.
I would have tried to fix this for free.
Hold on, I'm going to turn you up. Are you talking on a phone, Andy?
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna be difficult either way with the phone, but I still want to hear you. So do stay on, and I am bringing your volume up now. Okay, Andy, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Just trying to get through this pandemic bull crap.
Yeah, we all are. So let's just talk about pinball. How about it? Let's see. Let me finish up with Chris. So you said you had two distinct periods. You told us about two. One of them was in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's when you kind of started learning pinball technique. When was the third period, and then were there only three?
I would say the third period is more like 2012 when I started going to tournaments and stuff.
2012. And
Yeah.
What was that like when you went to your first tournament?
Like, I mean, I had played in like the TPF tournaments as there were in the past, where it was like, but I'd basically only buy like one ticket and qualify. But like in 2012, I started going to like other tournaments and other events and stuff, and that started to be fun. I think the first tournament I went to that I played in, I think it was at somebody's house, and it was we only played Atlantis. It was
Whoa, a one-game tournament?
yeah, it was
That
back
sounds
before.
pretty boring.
It was back before the IFPA had like all the requirements of like total games played and all that, and every tournament was just a base 25 points. So what it was Atlantis was the tournament game, and you had to pay per play to play it, and then he had other games at his house for recreational play.
Okay.
Yeah, and then like the top so many people got money, and I think I was in the top 4, and I think that's when I got my ACDC translate. I think so. That was pretty cool. I got a translate out of it. And
Have you gotten a lot of pinball trophies over the years?
I've gotten quite a few. You know,
Do you keep them all?
I have a bunch of B division trophies,
Okay.
and
I've got one of those.
I have a few translates, and probably my biggest, my proudest trophy is probably the B division from Cactus Jacks, because that was a major tournament. So winning B division in that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's
You
in
know?
Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah, that was like the first time they had it back in 2015.
Yeah, I've never actually made it out to Cactus Jacks. I've been to, oh, I don't know what the name of their, I forget the name of it. There's an Irish guy who is out in Oklahoma and had himself a arcade running the free play arcade model, at least partially. He was charging for pinballs and then doing the free play arcade model on the other side. But we had a good long talk when I went out to Oklahoma for, man, I can't remember why. Oh, it was a fighting game tournament I went out there for, and I went and got some pinball in, and we talked about Total Nuclear Annihilation, and he told me I should go be playing at Cactus Jacks. He's like, I got some pinball machines, but you really need to go out there. So.
Yeah, Cactus Jacks, they run on the coin model. They run on the coin model for pinballs and classic games, and then they run like on a card model for like their redemptions and their more modern games. Except like their modern games are like really more like 2000s games, like 2000 to 2010 games.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, they're mainly the main attraction there is their pinballs are all in really good condition, and
yeah,
and
that's hard to do. That's hard to do. And Andy can attest to how hard it is to keep a pinballs in good condition.
Absolutely. It takes some work.
And like you guys, they support their local competitive community by having tournaments and stuff, and and that's tournaments and leagues.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, it's just, for me, organizing Pinball Monday. Oh, that was a rough one. For me, organizing Pinball Monday and participating in the league, it's a labor of love. I enjoyed doing it. Even the organizing. I got to be honest, even when I had to stay up late at night, because Pinball Monday might end at 11:15 or something, depending on how long the players went. And then
12:30 in the last 2 tournaments.
12:30. There you go. And then I have an hour drive home, right? And then sometimes I wouldn't even drive home. You know, me and Shannon might go out to TGI Fridays or something, because I didn't want to drive home.
Neither of us did.
Right. So, like, that would have me coming home at like 2, 3 in the morning, and then I'd have to submit the results to the IFPA, because I was always very, very keen to keep the numbers moving as quickly as possible and not make sure no one was charged. I didn't want anybody having to pay the IFPA fees. But I would do that late at night or early in the morning the day of, and it was still a labor of love. I still love doing it, and I hope to get back to doing it soon. It would be much, much better right now if I was not playing Space Cadet pinball, but instead yelling into that bullhorn that next up on Monster Bash Pinball was Shannon and Chris and Andy.
And next up on Metallica is Everybody But Ray.
Everybody but Ray. That was the one rule, and it was really hard to get the matchplay.org program. Matchplay. Well, is it matchplay? I don't know what matchplay programming is.
Matchplay.events.
Matchplay.events. Yeah, it was so hard to get the settings just perfect to where it excluded a single player like that.
Right, we had a lot of hacking was involved, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, thank you to Dials for helping on the side there. But yeah, we got it to where no matter what, Ray Upshaw would never get Metallica pinball And the percentages on Walking Dead Pinball was also extremely low, although he could technically, through some quirks in the programming, get selected for that one. But other than that, it was fair. It's totally fair.
You never managed to do that for Kevin and Pirates, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
We have
We're
to
talking-
we have
we're
to
talking
we
about
have to change the code a little bit.
Talk about Ray. No, what I do if Kevin came around in Pirates was, depending on how many players were in the tournament, I would literally take Pirates out of the tournament, just for time constraints. It really, I would be happy to just like see Kevin win, but like that game would be an hour plus in one round, and it's just like we gotta go home here.
The Family Guy rule.
Yeah, the Family Guy rule, never appearing in any tournament.
As hard as I try to make that one, it still lasts forever.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy fixed it up really nicely. He did a really good job with Family Guy trying to get it tournament worthy. Why don't you tell me all the things that you did to Family Guy to try and get it in there, Andy?
Stewie Pinball was set to extra hard, so you had to sell out Pinball, I think twice or 9, like actually hit that thing 9 times.
Mm-hmm.
All ramps were set to hard, and for the posts, it was set to the minimum that was allowed without turning it off. No ball saves at all, ever.
Mm-hmm.
The mini pinball, it was between 10 to 30 seconds, and the only way you could increase your time was hitting the Stewie target. So you have 10 seconds up there, and as soon as that timer goes out, it kills your flippers instantly, and you automatically die. Your shots only count once instead of 3 times for the mini pinball. And Chris's ramp was set to extra hard, so you had to actually hit that ramp 8 times before it actually activates Mega Chris or whatever that mode is.
Yeah, so he went way deep into the rules, fixed everything, made sure everything was in tip-top shape, and then also like made it super hard, at least as hard as he could possibly make it. And so we tested it out. Because he was really trying to get Family Guy Pinball back in the tournament. Because you're a big fan of that table, right, Andy?
I actually like that table.
Yeah. There's nothing
I
wrong.
like the whole theme of it. And
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it outside of competition. And you had it humming. So we just did an experiment on it. It's like, okay, well, I have literally never played Family Guy Pinball because it is it's not a game in competition, and there's so many games in competition that I play all of them. So I tried Family Guy Pinball for the first time, and he had it on max difficulty settings, and I played one game, and about 30, 45 minutes into that first game, I was still on ball 2. I had activated Fart Multi-Ball for the second or third time, and I was like, okay, that's all I can take.
You activated Lard. The Fart Multi-Ball you got once, then the mystery was the there was another multi-ball, but it wasn't Fart. Then you activated Lard Multi-Ball inside of the mystery. I'm like, well, I'm done.
Right. So it just went on forever.
Highest on the machine.
Yeah. So 30, 45 minutes on max difficulty settings, not knowing the rules at all. First try. Family Guy Pinball is way too easy to have in competition in any format, in my opinion. Chris, are you a fan of that table?
I like it. It's okay. It's not like my favorite, but it's not like terrible. It's not like Avengers tier bad.
I haven't played Avengers.
But it's fun, but I don't know. I take it or leave it. But
yeah.
It's no Pirates. It's no Medieval Madness. It's no Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Although gameplay time-wise, it's up there with Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. But there's things you can do physically to the game to make it harder, like removing outlane posts or setting them to maximum openness, making the slings really sensitive, or you could go full Doug Polka, put lightning flippers and everything.
Does that make it extra peppy on the flippers, lightning flippers?
No, lightning flippers are an eighth of an inch shorter than regular flippers.
Okay.
They're the flippers that come standard on Fishtails and Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
So they're an eighth of an inch shorter than regular flippers. So the gap in the center is a little larger, so they're a little harder to play with.
Gotcha.
You have a little less flipper to work with.
Yeah. Did you ever try anything like that, Andy, or no of those options?
Money constraints.
Well, yeah, of course. But you're
especially the president. He doesn't like really modifications on any machine, including pinballs. He likes it as generic as possible.
Not generic.
Even like
just
authentic.
standard.
Authentic as possible.
Yeah. There you go.
Even when I try to get ordered something like the plungers with the ball knob instead of the flats, it's like those cost $30 when you get the flats for $5 or $6. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, gotcha. I never really took it. Like, I know you wanted to get everything into competition, but there's so many tables at Free Play Arlington that we were never underserved on pinball tables. Like, with the amount that you would have ready for tournament, and you'd always have it in tournament settings and everything, we could have fielded a tournament of 100 players. Like, it would have all run the same.
That's another thing that I appreciate that you guys started doing for tournaments is putting the games in tournament settings, because there's a lot of places that won't do that.
Right.
There's another arcade that has monthly tournaments. I'm not going to name them, but they don't. They leave the auto plunges on. They leave the. They don't let us put them in tournament settings, and it ends up you have problems like when the player before you tilts the game really hard, and then you don't have the time to wait out the tilt bob before it's your turn to plunge, so you're playing with a disadvantage.
Yes.
Because the player before you gave it a big shove trying to save the ball.
Yeah, I've actually experienced that, and I would my strategy, because I think about all pinball tables the same, is to pick the most difficult tables, the most fast playing tables, because they are the most frustrating and tend to tilt a player who might, no pun intended, tilt a player that might be more familiar with the game's rule set, right? So games like Star Wars, with the ball save off, I would pick it more often than not, just because I knew it would frustrate my opponents. And some of them, sure enough, would like smash the table. And I remember they didn't have them quite right in Denton one day. They did in subsequent trips, but yeah. So the table is just like shaking, and I had to play it like that. Like, okay, well, this completely nullifies my advantage because my opponent interfered with me. But that's a settings thing. The one thing I always tried to do is get not only a free play tech to be in the house and working the event, but also try and get them to go ahead and play in the tournament, because I feel like if you play in a pinball tournament, then you kind of understand the way that the settings need to be in an organic sense. You need to you will understand why you have to be around to clear a ball jam, why you would want settings the way they are. Why setting the game too friendly, while fun in a casual sense, would be bad in a tournament, because there are players like Kevin Rodriguez, or even you or me, Chris, that could just make it go for a long time if you don't set up the machine properly.
Oh yeah.
I know. I've put
Give me
some
like a
time on Pirates during the Pinball League.
Oh, what was that, Andy?
I put some good amount of time on Pirates during the Pinball League.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Chris?
Pirates always like bit me during League for some reason. I'd have decent games of it when I'm playing for practice, but in League I'd always end up with like 10,000 points or something. Like I'd always get the house balls on that one.
That is the thing about Jersey Jacks. They are very quick tables until you learn them. Then you could be like on the Hobbit, be on there for an hour and a half on one ball.
Oh, I've seen Chris take one of those balls too. Like just play for forever. I remember I saw you got in a multi-ball mode, the one with the they were in a tree and there's goblins attacking. Is it goblin multi-ball?
Oh, you're talking about the Into the Fire, the
Yes.
first of the 3 mini wizard modes.
Yes, Into the Fire.
There was a match that I had the day before that with Kevin where where I got into the fire. I was first player and he was second player. Like I got into the fire and I thought I was doing pretty good. Then he gets both into the fire and then barrel escape, the second mini wizard mode, and comes back and beats my score. So that was during qualifying. I played against Kevin on that, so I remember that game. So that was even more epic. And then I had my one that was on stream where I got to Into the Fire and whooped up.
What did you guys think about streaming pinball?
I enjoy it. It's I try to watch pinball streams when I can. It does take a lot of work to get right though, because like to get a good looking stream where you can see the scores and stuff.
Yeah, it's a huge undertaking, a huge challenge. Just streaming at all is hard. Arturo Sanchez, a famous arcade fighting game streamer, says streaming is a blow up, and he's absolutely right. It's so very hard, and if you're trying to stream arcade games, it's way harder than streaming modern games. And then if you try and stream pinball, you're talking like a factor of 100. It's so insane. You have to build an apparatus around it.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people like online have put a lot of effort. Like there's they've put a lot of effort into developing a technique for streaming pinball now. They've developed a rig and a rig design and stuff. There's a guy named Carl D'Angelo in California who kind of designed this mobile rig that you can move from game to game. That they use at a lot of big tournaments these days.
Yeah, and I think they had those at TPF last year. Probably many times.
Yeah.
Like they had rigs up at TPF, which you would hope if being one of the premier tournaments in the world. But that being said, what a massive undertaking, and I'm glad you watch pinball streams, so to let us know that there is an audience, because that's the other thing is like you put together a big old stream like that, and I don't even know what to tell you about the price on it. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars to stream a game, one single game where if Kevin nudges the table across the floor, then it breaks your entire stream. And then you'll have 2 viewers. So it's way big time a blow up. But I enjoyed streaming Spring Series Pinball last year. I say that Arthur did way more of the work than I did. But I did enjoy streaming it. And I really enjoyed the work of Austin Kemp, who he got eliminated early in the finals and basically just camped out on the microphone, and I thought he was fantastic at commentating pinball.
Him and Brendan.
What's that, Andy?
Him and Brendan.
Yes, him and Brennan. And Brennan is fantastic at commentating everything. He's one of the pinballers with Shannon, of course. So I would expect Brennan to be good at it because he could commentate a fighting game. He could commentate Killer Queen. He can. He's a fan of the ticket, so he sort of understands our style of going casual and then gaming and being truthful, and like there's something that you can't teach that sort of comes from listening to that. And Brendan's got it always. So not to take him for granted, but I was really impressed with Austin because I wasn't familiar with him. I was familiar with his father.
Yeah, have you ever been up there to play their collection?
No, I have not. What's it like up there?
It's pretty impressive. It's pretty good.
Like 100 or so games, or something like that.
Not that. No, not that many. But a lot of good games. Yeah, and a really well decorated home arcade.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me really, considering how good both of them are, and how knowledgeable both of them are. I only know if I've met Austin before Spring Series Pinball last year. Replay ball. I wonder if I got a save on that. That was my first time meeting him. So he's like 18 at that time, 17 maybe. So he looks like an adult, a young adult. But
I think he's like 17 or something now. I'm not sure.
Okay, so my point is, he looked like he could certainly pass for just an adult, right? He's a college kid, maybe. I think he might be a college kid.
No, I think he's still in high school.
Still in high school, okay. But that's not far removed from being like Sonic Mad age and being a little kid. And so many people have told me about Austin was a little kid at the tournament, and it's just like well he's a big kid now. He's
been playing since he was a little kid.
Yeah. And playing in tournament as well.
Yeah.
Andy, what's your experience with pinball? When did you fall in love?
I was always like a resident type thing and big into science, like growing up. As far as like actually playing, I would play anytime I would find a pinball, but I was in the same boat as you. I kind of grew up poor, kind of not much, and my parents didn't like me going to arcades.
Yeah.
So anytime I did, whatever $5 I had on me from like collected lunch throughout the month or something, then I'll just play a few games of pinball, whatever arcade. Usually the Tilt at the Parks Mall. Mm-hmm. Then once I actually got a little bit older, and after military, after being in like certain NCO clubs and stuff for the military, they always had some type of pinball on the side, and I always played and just wreck shop. Free Play opened. Well, actually, the other arcade first I found out was went there and was very disappointed most of the time because half their machines wasn't working.
Right.
So I was
yeah, that was my experience early as well. Like just and I didn't even. I'm trying to think of when I first. It's probably TPF, the TPF before Free Play Arcade opened in Richardson. That was when I really got a chance to sink my teeth into a pinball table that was fully functioning. Because I remember playing Star Trek, the Stern Star Trek with the guy who played McCoy voicing over everything. I played that one. And it worked so well. Like it worked. I can't tell you how many pinball games I played over the years where it just didn't do anything. So that led me to find the IFPA. Go to my first tournament. It actually made me go out to Nickel-Rama, I think it was. Do you know, Chris?
Nickel-Rama, yeah.
Yeah, Nickel-Rama is
That was a good
in the
one.
Garland area, and at least their original location, I was a big proponent of theirs. I would go in all the time. They would have 10 tables. My only real complaint about it was they would put it on that side wall. Do you know this? Do you remember this, Chris? It would be like unlevel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was
They're
the whole building.
unleveled, and they were like crammed into there wasn't a lot of room between them and like the redemption games behind them, and
Right.
so
But they were isolated by themselves. At least all the
Yeah.
pins were together. And then you could tell that whoever was curating that did love pinball because A, they had pinball, and B, it was very clearly like separated out and not the money maker, right? So Redemption's making the money, but you could come in and play pinball and contribute as well, and they kept it together. It was very nice. And I went there I wouldn't say religiously, but I had a friend I would go once or twice a month with, and we'd always buy the pass to come back for free. And then we would only play pinball, or no, I take that back. My friend would play redemption games because she didn't understand. Oh, I'm low on fuel. I don't understand. It's apparently a thing
Hit the
in this
launch
game.
ramp.
What's that?
Hit the launch ramp to where it goes into the inlane. That's how you refill.
Launch ramp to go. Okay. I accidentally tilted the ball too, so.
And actually,
Go back
my
for a
love for pinball is, I think, what actually helped me get the job for Free Play Arlington.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That's the way Corey would interview and hire people. If you showed a real passion for gaming, if you showed a passion for gaming, like a true passion, and especially for like a specific game, because Orlando got hired because he loved. Excuse me. Orlando got hired in part because he loved Crazy Climber. He had an experience with this bizarre old game that no one really appreciated, but Orlando did. So that was part of the reason he got hired on, and you with your love of pinball. So yeah, that's always a plus. If you're a gaming nerd, and you're going to be in a position at Free Play, like that helps. Passion. We want passionate people working for us. Obviously, we're passionate because they even laid us all off, and we still refuse to stop working.
Yeah, I tried to figure out how I could work full-time, be a mom, and still manage to maybe somehow part-time at Free Play, and I couldn't make it work.
Yeah, and that's the other side of that is, as Free Play didn't like to or doesn't like to have part-time employees, and I will say this: there's a good side to that too, which is Corey really. Corey, Kelsey, Richard, all of them, the entire office of Free Play, they appreciate and think of, and they make working for Free Play a really good experience. And I think that's part of not wanting to have a part-time employee. They don't want to have a lesser employee that's getting lesser benefits and things like that. Even struggles. I know Andy actually had some struggles with different levels of employment at Free Play as a full-time guy, which were legal in nature. Sorry, I should just reveal. Like it's like we struggled to figure out how to get you to be a salaried employee as opposed to an hourly employee, and it all had to do with like legal semantics that really was unfortunate for all parties involved, because you wanted to work basically 24/7, and we wanted to get out of your way, and me personally also wanting to work 24/7. I just wanted to have my friend Andy with me the whole time. So
and like I said, it is legal semantics, and I know Corey and Kelsey know exactly what they're doing, especially
Yes.
they read up on every single thing.
Yeah, they just read
I know.
800 pages of proposed House bill for coronavirus relief this morning. So yeah, they're pretty thorough. I love working with them. Any rumors you've heard about working for lawyers don't really need to apply to Free Play Arcade. We're owned by lawyers, and it is a joy to work for them. I hope I get to work for them again very soon. But yeah, they always thought about us and always like did what it needed. Even laying us off was like the best thing for us to get to get onto government aid. I know Chris is stuck in a bad situation because he's technically working still and we're not. So weird, but that's the life it is.
I've even gone onto the like DFW Pinball and Arcade like forum and just like, I was the tech at Arlington. Hit me up if you need personal pinballs and cabinets worked on.
Yeah, and that's about the best you can hope for right now. Of course, now we're all locked in our home anyway, so I don't think you can.
I'm considering paying someone to bring one to my house
because
because I'm fortunate enough to continue to work. So
I would be careful with that one.
Oh no, I'm not. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that's buying a pinball is a blow up in and of itself. I don't know if anyone knows about the price point. Austin would know, but he's busy till 7. But pinballs are expensive. I wouldn't say, if you just want to have one. Brennan could speak to this as well. Like if you just wanted to have one and you know someone like Andy who could work on them, it's not the absolute end of the world.
No, I just wanted to rent one until Free Play opened up again.
Yeah. Be careful with that one. Your mileage may vary from bad to awful.
Right.
Yeah. We. It's so frustrating. I do want to play pinball with my friends again. I got the pinball going off, so I'm gonna cue the music back up.
Hey, just don't take firepower away from me.
Firepower. I never made those decisions. Those were never on me.
I'd like it if they brought Jurassic Park over to Arlington, but
JP's a good table. They did a good job with that. Oh my goodness. Chris Lego has a horrible story with a pinball table he was delivering. That's a leading statement, sir. I have one more spot right here for you, Chris Lego. Let's hear this horrible story about your pinball delivery. We'll wait for that. All right, joining us now, Fightcade 2 extraordinaire, Chris Lego. Yeah. So what's your pinball delivery story? Hello.
Sorry, I had mic muted.
No worries. So you have a pinball story.
Yeah, so back in the day, I used to work in this facility that had an alternative school. And one of the rewards was we had a pinball table donated so the kids could play on it when they were free. And we went and picked up the pinball table, put it up, and when we got it unboxed and everything, I guess it was not appropriate content for kids in a school setting. It was a Vietnam-based pinball table.
Was it Raven?
I don't recall the name. This is 1995, 96 era. I don't remember. So the administrator of the program was like, yeah, we can't have this, so you take it back. So I didn't have anybody with me. I just loaded it to the back of my truck, drove it 20 miles away, and then pulling into the parking lot of the place of where it's at. I never strapped down the table. And I came in at a 45-degree angle.
Uh-oh.
And the whole thing rocked and fell out of the bed into the parking lot of the place I was delivering it. So it shattered the whole top half, shattered the glass, and I was just like, sorry? I'm out of here. Yeah, it was dumb. I was a kid delivering a pinball table in the back of my truck that I had no idea how to strap down.
Oh yeah, man, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, but it destroyed it.
Yeah. We at Free Plays had an experience like that or two. The one I remember was Kangaroo when it got rotated off the floor of Free Play Richardson. It didn't get strapped down properly in the truck and it just fell over and smash. So Kangaroo, rest in peace. I didn't get to play enough of you because that was one of my games from back in my daycare center days. So I had an affinity for Kangaroo, but alas, it got smacked.
Yeah.
I remember playing that on the Atari.
Yeah, it's a weird one. You have a kangaroo with boxing gloves, and you're fighting monkeys, and I forget you're trying to save your Joey, your little baby.
They throw apples at you.
It reminds me of well, it's a platform. I guess it's Donkey Kong-esque and it's platforming. Yeah. I need to take a restroom break, so if you guys don't mind talking pinball for about 3 minutes, I'll be right back.
Yep, 1.5.
Okay, you got it.
It was funny though when I had that table before I delivered it back. It was like, well, we can't keep this at the hospital, so you need to take this home until we figure out what to do with it. So for about 3 weeks ish, I had this Vietnam-based pinball table sitting in my garage, and the keys to it, and powered it up, and was playing the heck out of it until I got it back.
So just the glass shattered then? You could still play it?
Oh no, this is before the accident.
Oh, I see.
So I took it from the facility to home, and I had it for about 3 weeks at my home. And then when they're like, okay, yeah, they'll just take it back, don't worry about it. And on the delivery back to the place that we're getting
Gotcha.
it took a nosedive. And I just
my second day, I broke a Deadpool. And this is when Simpsons Pinball Party was still in the back getting worked on from them. And it was by no fault of my own. And Deadpool did its thing of being a pinball, and something went down with it. I took off the glass, and it just happened to be cold that day, and it was just the heater's on inside. And I grabbed the glass, leaned it against the wall, and not the windows like we normally have been doing. And as soon as it touched the wall, it shattered in my hand.
Whoa.
And I was, Matt already left for today, and I was just working with Drake, and he's just like, don't worry, we've all done that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it literally shattered in my hand. I was still holding the glass. It hasn't even touched the ground yet.
That's crazy.
And I think it's just one of those glass. It's science. You get something cold, warm, like room temperature, hit it to something cold that's already warm. So instant change in temperature, it'll shatter the glass.
Oh yeah, I've broken baking dishes that way. One baking dish.
Yeah, I instantly called Matt. I was like, I'm sorry. He's like, oh, don't worry. Pinball glasses, you can get abundance of them, or we got like stockpile in the warehouse. Okay. He's like, just measure out Simpsons, make sure it's the same size, and slide that one in there. So, and I accidentally blew up Star Trek. Working on that one.
Which
Good.
The
Stern Star Trek.
Stern Star Trek. Okay.
Wait, is that the good one or not the good one?
It depends on your preference. I actually like the Stern over the TNG, but that's all preference.
TNG is the one that they have at Arlington now with the with Captain Picard, and basically it's the wide body
with the two cannons.
Yeah. I like the other one better, I think. Yeah.
Short
was,
cannons and really wide out lanes.
Yeah. Like I said, I prefer regular Star Trek over the TNG. That's just my preference. But I was adjusting one of the pop bumpers so it actually would activate when ball hits it, and somehow I crossed wire between a solenoid below it, a ground, and I think a light switch, and it shorted out the whole backboard. That's why that one got rushed off the floor.
Oops.
I would have been able to fix it if the backboard wasn't micro soldered, and I take pride in trying to fix everything we can, but micro soldering is very difficult to do within the confines of like a normal computer desk. So that got sent to James for a spa. I don't know if they still have it or they actually sold it.
We're still on the subject of destroying things. That pinball table is not even the most expensive thing I've destroyed. When I was 18, before working at that hospital, I worked at a oil drilling company, and we had these giant centrifuges that were about $150,000, and they're balanced to within 1/1000th of an inch out of round, spinning on really expensive bearings and stuff. And the forklift I had to lift it up barely handled it, so we'd have to carry it across a parking lot about an inch high. And I was responsible for cleaning it up, getting ready for painting, and I had to raise it up onto these super heavy sawhorses. And I was dumb as an 18-year-old, and I was walking underneath the thing. It was about 5 feet high as I moved the sawhorses underneath it. Get back into the forklift, hit the lever to start lowering it down very slowly, and all the hydraulic pressure just gave out instantly, and it came right back. So it bounced, fell over on its edge onto the sawhorses, and it fell over completely upside down and then ripped everything off and just slammed into the ground. All the bolts sheared and everything, and $150,000 worth of equipment destroyed, plus not counting man hours to do that. And obviously I lost my job, but it wasn't my fault. It was the freaking forklift just killing it all of a sudden. But yeah, $150,000. That's my best destroying thing story.
I'm known to destroy stuff, but
Sorry about
I
that
try
delay.
not to.
Ian says he feels like he missed out on things.
He
Shame.
did. That's what he gets for taking a nap.
Yeah, I don't make that
Although
mistake.
naps are pretty. I haven't napped during this quarantine yet.
I
Since I'm
haven't
still
either.
I
working. So,
haven't figured out what a good sleep schedule is.
I would say, actually, I think that's a really good question. Can you say that again, Andy?
I haven't figured out a good sleep schedule.
I'm gonna write that down.
I'm going with 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. has been my new norm, since I can stay up a little bit later because I don't have to commute. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to do anything. I just sit down and go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So-
ask that to Angela Gory Midori whenever she comes on at 6:30. But she, I know she recommends keeping a schedule and doing keeping a routine. She says it's very important through all this, just to kind of help keep your sanity. So, get up, brush your
Yeah.
teeth, take a shower, do things like that. Even though you don't have to maybe get dressed like you would go to work or something like that. just to.
Totally agree. And so, I still have a schedule. It's just different now. So I get up, and I do brush my teeth because, ugh. And then I sit down and I check my email and maybe work for a little bit, and then have some breakfast, and then go take a shower, and then come back and work, and then whatever. One of my rules is that no video games before p.m.
Before when?
Because before 4 p.m.
I've definitely violated that rule.
Well, when it's your job, you're allowed, right? Or if you're unemployed, you're allowed. But I'm not unemployed. I still have to work. So
Yeah, no, that makes perfect
I'm
sense.
salary and I'm getting a paycheck. So I have to be careful not to slip off into that laziness, just because I can easily just game all day.
I 100% know. In fact, I could definitely turn on The Witcher. Like if I felt sorry for myself, even screw The Witcher. Make this back into a VR room and go into Skyrim VR and never come out of it. Like until I collapse from exhaustion and I fall asleep in the virtual meadow of Skyrim and wake back up and do it again. Like I've definitely, at darker times in my life, I've done things like that. So.
Oh yeah, and right now I don't really have a. It's. I just found MMOs. Okay, I didn't just find them. So growing my adult life, my early adult life, I had a child, which means I barely ever had money. So, I typically would find cheap places to live, and those cheap places did not have internet. So without high-speed internet, there was no gaming with other people.
Ian says he would watch me play Gwent on the weekend.
I wish we could play Gwent together on The Witcher. That would be pretty cool.
There is a Gwent game, but I have no interest in it. Where it's a CCG, much like Gwent is sort of. But I just don't have any interest in playing Gwent in that fashion.
Well, I wouldn't have as of 3 days ago, but
fair enough. Yeah,
things have changed, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm downloading all these card type of apps so that I can play cards with my mother.
Well, I'm totally out on CCGs right now. I'm out on mobile style gaming where it's with the freemium model. I am 100% out on it because unlike the name implies that it's free, but it's very, very far from free. You could find yourself paying hundreds or thousands of dollars to play those games, even though they're free. So they're not worth it.
No, those are not an
When
option.
I play games like that, I never pay. I always just play the free.
Right.
But that's only fun until you can't beat anybody else anymore, right?
Right.
It's now people that pay are.
Right. Well, I don't play the ones where you play direct conflict with other people.
Okay, yeah, that's where they get you. I mean, I did a Game of Thrones game on the mobile that was free.
Yeah, and I'll tell you.
Like I do Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go's. When I played season 1 of Pokemon Go, and I was fine. It was quite enjoyable, and it got me out into the park, and I ran around, and I met new friends. That's a special type of mobile game, but the more like Shannon was saying, competitive, but on the freemium model style mobile games, which there are so many that I can't even begin to tell you. They're literally designed like a Skinner box, if you're familiar with what that is.
Yeah.
So they will absolutely like companies like Zynga will hire psychologists to design their games to be as addictive as possible. Like met out the reward system in a very specific pattern so that your brain is like basically hooked on it, and
it's crazy.
It's crazy, but then they're siphoning money out of your account. Think about things like the bad stories around the one-armed bandit slot machines, right? Slot machines work like this. They've essentially made slot machines legal to everybody, with the exception of they don't pay out cash, which makes no sense at all. They still cost a ton, but they don't pay out anything, and that makes them legal. And the game, the artwork behind it, maybe the game design on some level, can still be interesting, and even artful, right? That it is art. But then the X's and O's behind it, the Matrix style Neo look at the game is really insidious. Pachinko, Ian's comparing it to. Yeah.
Yeah, I started playing one of those mobile games while I was unemployed, and I played. So I put in a lot of time.
Right, and
Because
you end up doing it because it's free, right?
Right, and I had time, so I put in the work, and even putting in all those hours of playing, it did not matter. And well, not to mention it was my first time playing a game like that, so I was a noob anyways. So anyways, I spent 7 months playing or something. Then I got a job. Then I was making like all this money. And so I quit playing on the server with all these people that I have now known for 6 months to start in a new server, to start fresh and pay money. And I dropped so much money, and then realized that no matter how much money you drop, someone else is going to drop more, and you're not going to be that good unless you're going to really throw out tens of thousands of dollars. And that's just stupid. So I had to quit. I had to just let it go because I was hooked. I wanted to win. But if
Right.
paying is the way to win, then that's not a game for me.
No, it's just not fun. Like in my opinion, that's not. Yeah, Lego's chiming in and says his mom spent $3,500 with an in-app purchase for a mobile game, but had no idea. Yeah.
Oh
see,
yeah, easy.
that's the
It's
sort of
easy to do.
Yeah, and like, and here's the thing: you pay that money to play the game in some way, and that you're right, it is predatory. And I was just mentioning how it is predatory. But you pay all that money to win, or to get your opportunity to win, and then you win. And I will tell you, like, that means nothing compared to the feeling that you get for being Jason Palmer and holding up the Tuesday Night Fight Super Turbo Trophy when you and Alex Mona and Bernie win in Denton. Like it's much more meaningful when everything's equal and you have the skills come up. He says, "Thanks for bringing up a horrible memory." That should not be a horrible memory. Getting second place.
The other thing about the pay to win thing, that's one thing that also really started to annoy me about arcade games in like somewhere in the mid 90s. They stopped resetting high scores when you would continue. It used to be if you put more money in and continued, it would reset your score to 0. But then they started designing games, and like what I really hated was the remake of Ms. Pac-Man and Galaga they did that included continues, and they had continues, but it didn't reset your score. So it meant the high score table was completely meaningless because all it meant was, somebody had a whole bunch of money to just stick in the game and put up all 9s on the high score table.
Yeah, that's Bokai was still salty about the didn't TNF. Yeah, well, even if you had won Bokai, I was going to have the partner sign the thing. I can't remember who your partner was that day, but Jason Palmer signing the Beltran buck. That's the good one. The story is still worth it. It's all part of it. I don't know. Sorry, what were you saying, Chris? About
the high score tables.
Oh yeah.
If they don't reset when you put more money in to continue, it's completely
it's meaningless. Yeah, it's meaningless. I mean, I get frustrated at marathon high scores as it is, but certainly if you can continue. There was we did a Road Blasters month. I don't know if you were in the community group when we did that, but we always did a pinball tournament, a pinball monthly, and an arcade monthly. And we did Road Blasters one time, and I did it on a lark because it was one of those games where if you beat level 50, then you get a shirt. So we ran that contest. We honored that contest by if you beat level 50 during that month when we were doing the monthly on Road Blasters, then you would win a free play shirt. And I can't remember. I believe Keith Carlson ended up winning it, who was my behind the alley neighbor. And I got second, but I pushed him to actually get to level 50. That was my mission. But you can continue in that game, and it will count it in some way. So literally, he would just go to the arcade and farm level. I want to say it was 47, where you can most efficiently farm points and then die on purpose and then do it again and die and then do this for like 7 hours or something like that. It was really dumb. That's the way he likes to play games, farming. He's actually a very, very, very talented gamer, but just something about the way he thinks, he really likes farming games. So he farmed it for hours, and it just takes the fun out of the game, and it also takes the competition out of the game. It's just not fun.
Yeah, competition is what makes it fun for me.
Lego says Twitch is predatory for making me click that little green box every 100 points. I am not. Are we talking about bits?
To claim a bonus.
No, it's the little channel points at the bottom. It periodically brings up the box. You can use the channel points to highlight your message or unlock a random emote or something.
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
You get them for like sitting in the channel, basically.
Oh, okay. Well,
It does redeem into cash to the streamer, but it's like very minimal.
yeah, it
Like
is.
that.
It is very minimal. I tell you what. You curious on the behind the scenes on this? I can pull back the curtain and reveal what kind of monetary benefit this is, because I am certainly on the Twitch, and I don't mind. I can reveal. What's that?
Be careful about that, because Twitch and YouTube have done a thing. They will, if you bring up any of the monetary stuff that Twitch does to the streamers, it will instantly shut you off. I know YouTube especially does that.
In what form?
They'll ban you.
Yeah.
I understand they'll ban.
For talking about it?
Showing it on stream.
Oh no! I'm not here to show you, but I can reveal how much we've made. Yeah, we're not. I mean, unless that's what you mean. I don't know. I'll wait for DLs. If DL is here.
Check the terms of service if they like have an NDA in there about like.
Either way, I'm gonna come bring it up in some way, because I don't want to tease it and not mention it in some way. Let's see here. I need. That's cool. I've certainly glanced at it before. It's a trip, because we never really envisioned this as a money-making thing. We don't care. We didn't care. Now, right now, we can't turn away any money. But
Check the lore.
nope. Maybe I can't. There we go. Dashboards. Yeah, I don't know. I think we put on a good stream. You know, maybe I can't even figure it out anymore. They changed the way that they present everything. Occasionally, so. Last chance for me to figure it out. There we go. And then, okay. So yeah, our numbers are up considerably this month due to me doing all this, and they have jumped quite a bit since we went on the air 24/7. But it's still how about this? It's less than we will make, considerably less than we will make in our 3 hours open for Free Play Richardson tomorrow. Like considerably less. way less. So there you go. There's your update. It's a very, very small amount that is distributed to the Twitch affiliates. Twitch partners get more. I hear, but like that was never our concern. That was just never our thing. Back in I remember when we were trying to get partnered, because we didn't care if we were an affiliate or a partner or anything else. When we were accepted as an affiliate, it was fait accompli because we had easily hit all the check marks, and we had hit all the check marks for partner as well. But we never cared to, because we were just streaming there to stream and for, I guess, to promote the fact that we had an arcade that was bustling and to be welcoming and be a part of the community and allow the community members themselves to be, you know, part of the show and stars and everything. That's what we wanted. We didn't care about the monetization. And it was a frustration, and it still is a frustration, that everything that they allot for partners, as far as the side-in stuff, like now they've expanded it to where we each get 5 emoticons, so now you can use your Twitch Prime subscription for free and get access to a Carlitos and a Boat Guy emoticon and 2 others. We had an artist on staff, like the best artist in the business, Josh Featherstone, the best. And we could have used all those assets that they make available to partners, and like that's a canvas for an artist to work on. And you need to like expand that and like just give the man his paints and give the man his canvas and watch what an artist does, and it will blow you away every time. We didn't have access to the canvas because we couldn't be Twitch partners, so we wanted to have some sort of like Twitch professional, like if we could, or business where we could just buy into the parts without the monetization. We didn't even care about the monetization. It's so frustrating to have to deal with them sometimes. There's your behind the curtains Twitch talk. You think we're good, Andy? Oh no, they've got to Andy already.
Booted him.
Yep. All right. That was the punishment for talking about Twitch behind the scenes stuff. Andy murdered in a field.
I'm still here.
Oh, he's back alive. He's back alive. Muted only for a little bit.
Yeah, I had to do some stuff. Got my kid with me, so
It's all good. It's all good. Shannon, what are your favorite pinball tables?
I like TNA has probably become my favorite. Just, I don't know, because I put so much time into it, maybe, and but I like, your typical Medieval Madness, and I don't play enough pinball. Just I have Denton here, so that helps. But I feel like I need to spend more time on each table. Shadow was one that I spent a lot of time on as well.
I would love to have Shadow in Arlington when it opens back up.
Yeah, that's a tough game. It's a tough table, but it's also fun.
Complex table.
Yeah, if it's working 100%, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and there's a ton. Well, Andy would accept nothing less. But like all the different ramps and being able to change the ramp on the fly. James also in Denton was obsessed with that table. So I doubt you're getting it, Andy, if everything opens back up like normal, because James loves that table.
I'm very impressed with the way they were able to replicate Breakout in a pinball machine.
Oh yeah, because that has a little thing that goes out like this, right? And you just bounce it. Yeah, a demake, if you would. Taking a video game and putting it into video pinball form.
So the first time I ever played that table was at another location, and the con was broken. Is it? No, it's not the con. That breakout part is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The battlefield is what's called.
The battlefield, that's what it's called. Yes. So it was broken to the sense where as soon as you lock the ball up in there, it gave you finished the mode. immediately. Like you didn't have to hit anything; it just finished it. And I was like, wow, that gives you a lot of points. And then they fixed it, and I realized
You aren't
that-
none of them.
yeah, I wasn't getting all those points just because, it was broken. So it made it a little harder, definitely, to have to hit those and keep the ball in there. If you hit the same spot twice too fast, and you got to start over, or yeah. But yeah, I just I
you
don't
don't have
think
to
I don't have a favorite.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah. I'm in line with the ones that you mentioned. Total Nuclear Annihilation is my favorite. Medieval Madness is another one. Those two are like the prime ones for me. I enjoy Jurassic Park and Iron Maiden quite a bit, but they still don't reach that sublime level to me that those previous two are. I've had affinity for mini tables over the years. There's some honorable mentions like Tron Legacy. That Tron Legacy LE that we have in Arlington that Andy takes care of is so fun to play for me. I adore that
I think
game.
that one's not an actual LE. It's a Pro that has some mods on it.
I can't speak to that or not. I've always been told that it is
the
an
LE
LE.
has drop targets.
Yeah, all I know, it does not have drop.
The
I don't
LE
know.
has drop targets, so this one doesn't have drop. It has for the Tron targets. There's stand-ups on
Yeah,
the Pro.
I know
and
there's-
the LE. They're drop targets.
I know there's custom parts to the Tron Legacy at Arlington. I know there's legit custom parts to it because the working Tron on the
arcade
inside,
mod.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a mod.
yeah. Which is really cool, by the way.
And I think the plunger is a mod. It's and the light tubes are a mod because normally those only come on the LE, and I think that's why a lot of people think it's an LE, but it's a Pro because it doesn't have the drop targets.
Interesting.
And also the other thing, the LE has Daft Punk multi-ball that you can get by shooting the ramps.
Okay.
So it doesn't have the LE code in it.
Gotcha. I've definitely not seen that. Slowly but surely,
Yeah.
Star Trek TNG. Bowling Mania only worked 10 hours today. You lazy bastard. Only 10 hours. Wow. How's
Gee,
everybody doing? Hanging out. Getting by, like always. Appreciate hearing from you, Bowling Mania. Appreciate the fact that you kept me from starving last week. Slowly but surely, Star Trek TNG table is becoming a fave of Ian. That table, I'm sure I've told Shannon this before. Any of the tables with the guns drive me nuts. The sound design on Star Trek The Next Generation is right next to my heart. I love the fact that they got all the sound from the original, the Next Generation series. You know, Captain Picard is in there, the Worf's voice, like all the sounds are really
Even
super
Q.
authentic. Even Q. Oh, it's so good in that way. And the IP is as close to my heart as is possible. I love it so much.
I just love how you can piss off Picard with anytime Mr. Data comes up.
So I have
Yeah,
Free 10 million
I've
points too.
Yeah, if you fail at a mode and don't hit any shots in it, Data will like berate you. He'll say, if you had plotted your ball at the proper, but you can tell him to shut up if you hit both flippers.